My heartbeat swelled with each passing second. The heavy air conditioning left crawling tremors of cold on my bare arms. I should have worn something warm and cozy for my first ever flight, rather than this thin white cropped t-shirt with shorts. Ladies and gentlemen. Suddenly, the muffled voice through the speakers caught my attention. I looked over my seat and around, wondering what was happening. This is your captain, Cole Ryder. I'd like to welcome you aboard Skylux Airways, Flight 742, which is traveling from New York to Johannesburg. My heart stopped beating for a moment. Cole Ryder. Caption, Cole Ryder. The fucking Cole Ryder. No, this would not be possible. He would not be flying this plane. I peeped out the window and tried to focus on breathing, shaking my head. We're set for a long journey today, with an expected flight time of approximately 16 hours. We'll be cruising at an altitude of 35,000 feet, and our route will take us over the Atlantic Ocean, the western coast of Africa, and down through Central Africa to our destination in Johannesburg. It's a beautiful route, so if you're near a window, you might catch some spectacular views along the way. He further spoke, and I couldn't help but feel the resemblance in his voice. It was deep and manly, yet carried a gentle touch, similar to his, but it was 6 years ago, and he could not be here in New York. He definitely would not be flying this flight to Johannesburg. He changed cities when her mother married a rich billionaire man after my father died. The weather looks clear for most of our flight, but we may experience turbulence as we cross the equator. I'll keep you updated on that as we go. Please remember to keep your seatbelts fastened whenever you're seated for your safety and comfort. He further spoke. I inhaled a deep breath, sliding a little down and crossing my arms over my chest as my nipples hardened, reminding me of a few memories of him and me. But he was not him. Captain Cole Ryder was not my stepbrother Cole Ryder, whom I kissed on Valentine's Day when I was 14. He was on a date with his girlfriend. I immediately palmed my face, remembering my embarrassment after that. I was so stupid. Thankfully, the announcement ended, and the plane's engine began to hum. I closed my eyes, trying to calm my racing heartbeat while watching the runway. The trees standing far away began running. Keep your seatbelts fastened, another announcement followed. As the plane began slightly jumping, I couldn't help but close my eyes with fear. The news of planes crashing, catching fire in midair, and blasting made my heart race. And suddenly, we were up, high in the air, and I immediately opened my eyes and watched. The earth was running away. The trees turned into dots, the runaway disappeared, and the tall, huge buildings seemed like boxers. In a matter of minutes, we were flying. You can unfasten seatbelts now, a girl announced. And when I noticed everyone taking their seatbelts off, I opened mine. The food was served, and so was the blanket. The orange hues of the evening sky pierced through the glass and fell over my face, almost blinding me. It was the same day. All of my school friends knew that my father married a woman, my stepmother, and she had a son, a hot and handsome son. I was excited to find a new sibling, but just by laying my first sight on him, I felt something in my heart that should not be known to the world. He was 8 years older than me, and very cold. My friends used to tease me with his name. I could not help but feel something for him too. I just wanted him to see me as more than a child. The increasing cold of the air conditioning made me shiver even under the blankets. As dusk disappeared and the passengers had finished 2 rounds of drinks, I noticed them turning their lights off and falling asleep. I wanted to sleep, too. But nature's call did not understand the technology, and I looked over at the people sitting beside me. They were an old couple, so old that even talking to them would make me feel as if I was disturbing them. I tried to say, excuse me, but the man looked at me with unreasonable hatred. I smiled awkwardly and tried to walk out, and a few passengers noticed me. It felt embarrassing. Everyone would know that I was going to pee. Lowering my head, I silently walked down the tiny gallery, away from the puzzle of seats and passengers' gazes, and reached the toilet. My eyes fell on the air hostesses, who sat in their tiny chairs with their backs straight and hands in their laps. I smiled at one of them. She looked up at me. And, looking away, I tried to open the door. It felt stiff and tight. When I opened it, I disappeared into it and gazed at the silver sink and toilet. My cheeks were pale with the coldness. I gulped and took a pee before washing my hands, and when I opened the door and was about to close it, my sight fell on the black curtains before me, parting away, and the tall, handsome man appearing. My eyes widened with shock. My heartbeats raced, and when his eyes met mine, I felt the butterflies exploding inside me. He knit his brows with confusion for a moment. "Bella," he spoke. "Cole," I stood frozen. His lips curved into a slight smile, and he walked closer to me. "You are here?" he asked, and I gulped, closing my forever open mouth. "Why, yes, I got a scholarship in Johannesburg," I tried to say, wondering if I would make any sense after 6 years, and he nodded.